بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه يقول: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لفاطمة رضي الله عنها: ما يمنعك أن تسمعي ما أوصيك به، أن تقولي إذا أصبحت وإذا أمسيت: يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث، أصلح لي شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين. رواه الحاكم. Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to Fatima radiallahu anha that there should not be anything which may stop you from listening to my advice. Say this dua in the morning and in the evening. The dua is Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum bi rahmatika astaghith, aslih li sha'ni kullah wa la takilni ila nafsi tarfata ayn. Meaning, O eternal living and sustainer and maintainer of all, I beseech you in the name of your mercy, improve all my affairs, and do not leave me to my desires even for the blinking of an eye. Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to Fatima radiallahu anha that there should not be anything which may stop you from listening to my advice. Say this dua in the morning and in the evening. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث أصلح لي شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين. O eternal living and sustainer and maintainer of all, I beseech you in the name of your mercy, improve all my affairs and do not leave me to my desires, even for the blinking of an eye. So again that dua is يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث أصلح لي شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين. G. It means all of my affairs, all of my things that I need to do, everything about my day. समझ गए? जी. See, everyone, when he's reading his Quran, then he starts thinking about his water bottle. जी. कभी कभी ऐसे होता है, Yusuf? So whatever, someone will get distracted. Someone will get distracted. So a person, he should make this dua. Where a person is asking Allah not to let him follow his desires. Do not leave him to his desires. So he's saying that, oh Allah, let me remain in control of my desires, from doing just whatever I want to do. Do not let me fall into my desires even for the blinking of an eye. طرفة عين. عن أبي وائل رحمه الله عن علي رضي الله عنه أن مكاتبا جاءه فقال إني قد عجزت عن كتابتي فأعني. قال ألا أعلمك كلمات علمنيهن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لو كان عليك مثل جبل صير دينا أداه الله عنك. قال قل اللهم اكفني بحلالك عن حرامك وأغنني بفضلك عمن سواك. رواه الترمذي. Abu Wa'il rahimahullah narrates that a mukatab, a slave, so this is a specific type of slave, I'll explain later, came to Ali radiallahu anhu and said, I am unable to pay the agreed amount within the agreed period to get myself freed from slavery. So help me. Ali radiallahu anhu told him, should I not teach you those words which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam taught me? If you are in debt equivalent to Mount Seir of Yemen, Allah will discharge that debt for you. Say this, اللهم اكفني بحلالك عن حرامك وأغنني بفضلك عمن سواك. O Allah, suffice for me your lawful sustenance, saving me from your unlawful, and by your grace free me from all except yourself. Abu Wail rahimahullah narrates that Mukatab came to Ali radiallahu anhu and said, I am unable to pay the agreed amount within the agreed period to get myself freed from slavery. So help me. Ali radiallahu anhu told him, should I not teach you those words which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam taught me? If you are in debt equivalent to Mount Seir of Yemen, Allah will discharge that debt for you. Say this, Allahumma kfini bihalalika an haramik wa aghnini bifadlika amman siwak. O Allah, suffice me your lawful sustenance, saving me from the unlawful, and by your grace free me from all except yourself. Note, a mukatab means a slave for whose liberty a certain quantum of anything is agreed upon, and when he pays that, he gets free. So, in that time, there were different types of, different types of slaves. There were different rules for the types of slaves. So generally, a traditional or a regular kind was not allowed to do any types of financial transactions. Then there was a specific type that was given that authorization to do financial transactions. So this would be called a ma'dhun. And then there's the mukatab, which is that slave which made this deal with his master that when I give you, X amount of whatever, whether it be gold, whether it be silver, whether it be wheat, whether it be dates, whatever it might be, within a given period of time, then I buy my freedom. So this was a thing. They could actually buy their freedom. So this is what this particular hadith, the incident which is being discussed, although it is general, it is not, the dua is a dua to get out of debt. So it is not specific just to this case, but this is the incident which is being discussed at hand. That such a person, a mukatab, a person who was in this type of situation, was trying to buy his freedom, came with this request to Ali radiallahu anhu. So, it was the practice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if anyone came to him, he would not tell them no. He would help them in whatever capacity he could, and then he would teach them otherwise also how to make dua and which duas to make, but he would not deprive them from whatever financial or whatever worldly material he had. So likely this is also what Ali radiallahu anhu did, but the point, which is of importance to us is this dua that he taught him. So yesterday, I think I had mentioned this, or before yesterday, I can't remember. And this is also a topic we briefly looked at in the history class with the kids in their, their little homeschooling setup, history of slavery in Quebec. And as we were going through it in a little bit more detail, the first or one picture where this is established is in 1760, which shows a little black child walking, behind, his white masters, so to speak, or his white masters. So this is when slavery was still going on in Quebec. And you see, we see the contrast, that on one hand, in Deen, we're told to, freeing a slave is something rewarding. Slaves have been empowered that they can purchase their own freedom. And when we look at the places where zakat can be spent, one thing is for the poor people, one is for those people who have absolutely nothing. And then amongst the people are those وَفِي الرِّقَابِ إِنَّمَا الصَّدَقَاتُ لِلْفُقَرَاءِ وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا. And then وَفِي الرِّقَابِ, this is talking about these types of slaves, that a person can spend his obligatory zakat on these types of people to help them to purchase their freedom. And as we know, that those deeds which are obligatory are also the ones with the highest reward. Those deeds which are obligatory are also those which give us the highest and the greatest reward. So like the fard salat are the ones which are the most rewarding. A person, he does the bare minimum, the base faraid, and then he keeps on getting closer to Allah with nawafil. But the ones which are most rewarding are those 5 times fard salats. So in the same way, zakat is to be spent on these, to be, now, like we said, today we don't really have the system of slavery, but if the system was still in place, then to free these slaves and to give them money to purchase their freedom, a person is rewarded, and he is rewarded the reward of a fard deed, giving his fard zakat. It's not just optional. He is getting the reward of the basic faraid, spending on these people so that they can purchase their freedom. This is what Islam has done, that when a system like that is in place, then we are encouraged to help out these people to purchase their freedom. So, just as going around these topics which were just popping up as we were covering them in history class, which were relevant to that time period that we're discussing. So, I just found it useful to mention it, that a person who gets this, who helps out this mukatab, he gets the reward of, discharging his fard zakat. This is actually part of the fard zakat that he must give. And again, how easy it is, just at 2.5%. It's not 15% GST TVQ, 2.5% only. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: ليس الشديد بالسرعة، إنما الشديد الذي يملك نفسه عند الغضب. رواه البخاري. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "The powerful is not he who knocks down others. Undoubtedly, the powerful is the one who controls himself in a fit of anger." Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "The powerful is not he who knocks down others. Undoubtedly, the powerful is the one who controls himself in a fit of anger." तो गुस्सा को कंट्रोल करना है. गुस्सा, anger. जी. غين داد غصة. जी. عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من تمام التحية الأخذ باليد. رواه الترمذي. عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من تمام التحية الأخذ باليد. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu narrates that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "The perfection of greeting is the shaking of hands." Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu narrates that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "The perfection of greeting is the shaking of hands." So during COVID, we leave that for external reasons, but normally we should make it a habit to shake the hands when we give salam. ठीक है. अच्छा. Allah give us tawfiq to understand what we have heard and read, inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdi. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون.